Hello, colleague Shuqi,
Yes.
if I am pronounced well, and you are from China,
Yes.
and here in Poland, and both of us today are in Poland, and I want to introduce shortly to my channel, to our channel viewers, that we are going to have short discussion, short interview with colleague Shuqi, because we are both are taking part in the international conference, 21st International Scientific Conference, multidimensionality of education in the 21st century, which is taking place in Poland, in Chlewiska, here near Siedlce. Very nice place in creative home Remontowka, named Remontowka. And with colleague Shuqi, we decided to have short interview, short discussion, because it's quite interesting. And please introduce shortly yourself.
My name is Huang Shuqi, and Huang is my family name. Shuqi is my name. So it's my first time to join this kind of conference and in English, and so I'm quite nervous. And before I came here, I was so exciting and also nervous.
Why?
Yeah, because it's my first time to using English and join like foreign conference. Yeah, and after I came here, the place is very nice.
Yes, but it's fully understandable because, as I'm saying, usually we use international English more or less, and don't worry, we are not native speakers. But anyway, we need to use for communication as language for communication. Okay, and what are your, let's say, impression about Poland, about this place, about?
The most impressed is the weather.
Why?
Yeah, the weather is very nice here, and also the people also very nice. I went to some Euro countries, and after I come back to Poland, I feel at home. Like the people here, especially some old people, they are very nice, and also because I live in the small city, so when the old people see me, it's because it's appear like. When they see me, it's like, okay, I'm from another country, it's like clearly. So they are very nice to me. They will ask me some questions in Polish. Like I will use my short words to answer, but sometimes they just smile to me.
Yes, but you know very well that it's so relative thing. For example, to compare, you said from a small or big city. What does it mean, big city in China, and for example, big city in Poland or Lithuania?
It depends on how many people in this city. So that's how I said the small city, because in that small city, not so many people. So for example, in Warsaw, why I call Warsaw is big city, because many people. Yeah. So that's how I separate small and big.
Okay. And what about this conference? Let's say your interest in this conference, to take part in this conference.
And I think the first part is like the people from here, it's like a lot of, I don't know how to say that, maybe let's say knowledge. Because I saw most of them is like professional, and also they wrote some articles, and like they really knowledge. So I want to come here to study some, and also I think it's a good experience for me to join some conference like this. It's really talking about educational, so I can like, because in Chinese we will say one people thinking only a little bit, but if all the people's thinking come together, will be like boom.
Big idea.
Yeah. So like for example, if I just stay in my apartment, stay in there to think about the education, so I think just nothing. But if I come to the conference, the people all together, then I will know more about nowadays the educational and what the profession, what the scholar to talk about the educational now. So I can do more about education, because I really enjoy my job, and I really want to do more in education.
Yes, but let's a little bit return back, because it's quite interesting. I do understand that to study abroad, it's quite interesting. At some extent, it's important. And for example, I'm trying to imagine. I have no such feeling, but let's say from big country like China is a big country, and to study in another continent, in Europe in this case. And what was your, let's say, main motivation to study PhD here in Poland?
So let's go to more realistic question. Province is because in China we have so many people. It's really hard to apply, even you are really good already. But
You mean competition, high competition?
yes, yeah, it's very hard to get this if you want to go to like nice school. So I decided to apply the foreign countries. So it's more and not so easy, but it's easy than China because Chinese is really a lot of people, and many people want to study PhD there. That's why.
And is it, let's say, is it popular? I mean, popular and useful to study abroad in comparison with local perspective?
It depends on the school actually. Yeah, but anyway, I just want to know more. I just want to study myself. Anyway, I don't think about future. I just want to know more. Yeah.
What does it mean to know more?
Know more about education.
About
Yeah,
education,
because during my job when I teach, I think I still have like big place to improve. And when I work, I was thinking like how I improve myself. Then I need to study. But if I study alone, nobody push me, and if I just stay alone, I cannot know more. And eyesight is like just a little. But if I push myself to do the like PhD or join the conference, then I will know more. No matter how I inside my brain, but I can have something in my brain, like the new things.
And what about period of time? How long you are planning to stay, for example? It's 3 years, 4 years?
I think like 3 years. Yes,
3
3
years.
years.
And also including defense. For example, if you finish your PhD studies with the defense of PhD thesis.
Yes,
Right.
it depends. Yes.
And you are planning to perform here?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have this local supervisor for your PhD thesis?
And not yet.
No.
Yeah, because I'm not really like enrolled the PhD, so I need to join more conference, and then the university say, okay, now you have this quality to join us.
Okay.
Yeah. So not like exactly.
And if I understood well, listening your presentation, by the way, it was really somehow interesting presentation. Is it related with language issues or teaching languages or something? If I understood well your presentation in this conference.
And my presentation is about teaching, how we teaching, and it's like use the Confucius educational thoughts. So we borrow his thoughts to use nowadays educational. Yeah.
Can you explain in more details your topic, because it's interesting?
Yes. So for example, like a teaching method he mentioned in his book, and it's like we should according to the student's ability and also characteristic to teach the student. And these methods we can still use nowadays. We cannot treat the student like the same. They are the same, but they are different. So you need to use different way to tell the story, teach them, and also especially when the student makes a mistake, you need to use some different way to tell them which one is correct, which one is true. It depends on the student's characteristic. So this is he mentioned this one in his book like really long time ago. So I think in his books, many things we can borrow to our teaching. The methods, the educational thoughts, and how we study, how we teach. All of this he wrote in his book. Yeah.
Okay, it's quite interesting because nowadays it's not only my personal experience, but I'm also lecturer at university, professor at university, and I'm working with master students mainly and partially with bachelor students. But let's say current discussion or current trend that students in secondary school, at secondary school level, and also including higher education level, somehow lack of motivation to learn.
Yes.
For example, in comparison with, I mentioned my colleague from Taiwan, because I visited Taiwan sometimes, and possible I will visit sometime your country.
Yeah.
And in comparison, what do you think about motivation?
And I think in comparison, Confucius also use some small a small story to talk about this. Since student doesn't want to learn, then you just bring the student to do some practice, and from the practice learn from the practice. So because I also like it's time difference, because now like if the student doesn't want to learn, we cannot bring the student to go outside to practice because we don't have so much time and we have so many students. So it's different. So we have to find a way to like motivate students to learn. I still finding the way, because I also have problem with this. Like my high school students, and also not all, but some of the high school students, and also some primary school students, they also have the problem with the motivation about the learning.
Yes, but having in mind, for example, it's obvious that China is really big country, quite large population, etc. And education it's quite important for everybody.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this is, as you mentioned, some like competition, for example, in order to obtain better and better education.
Could you please repeat again your questions?
Yeah, as I said, this is really competition, and for example, having in mind PhD studies, this is another level of education. And for example, what does mean PhD? PhD, it's like a proof that you are a scholar, scientist, that you can be included in scientific activity, that you are able to perform research and to do research, etc. And it's really not easy. And again, motivation. For example, I don't remember exactly, possibly 2015 in Europe, at European level was accepted like political trend, political document that Europe needs more scientists. This is like a trend because really Europe lack of scientists due to different reasons. For example, it's connected with motivation to become a scholar, a scientist. It requires a lot of efforts, quite long studies. For example, after obtaining PhD, it's just beginning of your, let's say, way in this activity. Yeah, it's like a beginner scholar. You need to learn to continuously, etc., etc. And some young people going abroad, for example, United States or etc. And this is really problematic issue. And in this case, it's really respect to you that you study as PhD student. It's really good.
Yeah.
And what about, let's say, general opinion among young people in China? What were preferences?
What their preferences?
Yeah, preference, for example, related to education. Are they interested to obtain good education or just?
And now in China, I think in my opinions, I think most of people like also wants to study. They want to pursue go to the university. They don't want to go to the technique school, because also nowadays they also encourage the people to go to the technique school because we don't have so many technique worker. But a lot of young people wants to go to the university. Yeah. Even though like the university teach not the skill, but they still want to go to the university. But also it depends on because China is quite big. So if the people from the small city, so they can they did not education enough, so they just after finish the high school, and they will just go to work in the canteen or in the other factory. So they don't want to go to the university. So I think it depends on the people, where are they from. So if the people most of people from the not the small village, if they from the city, they most of them want to go to the university.
And by the way, do they need to pay for studies at university?
Yes.
All of them? Or?
Yeah, all of them.
No, free of charge, for example.
Free charge is maybe only one or two. They can apply the scholarship. It's the same. I think it's the same like Euro country. Not so many, but we can apply the scholarship.
Yes, because for example in Lithuania or in other countries in Europe, it's university studies free of charge.
Yes,
free of
I
charge.
know in
And
Poland also.
obviously we have some study programs which you need, for example, to pay, or for example, if you want to obtain another degree or second study program to finish the second study program, for example, in parallel, in such a case, you need to pay, for example. But generally, this is like public education.
Yes, I also know about this. But in China, the normal people go to there will be paid. Except you are like really excellent, you apply the scholarship. That one will be like difference. But like most of us will pay for that.
It's quite interesting to discuss with different, because when we're discussing with different people, or it doesn't matter, young people or older one, it's more or less the same. For example, last year I took part in symposium. Our traditional IST is International Organization for Science and Technology Education, and symposium took place in Brazil, in Recife. This is oh my God, northeast, possible near Atlantic Ocean, Pernambuco state. And I have some discussions with colleagues, also with students, and for me it's quite difficult to imagine how other countries, what is going on in other countries, for example, because it's Brazil, it's a big country, and it's difficult to travel from inside the country, from one state to another state.
Yes,
and there are students, they never visited another state, for example.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
Yes, I was surprised how it's possible to live in university students. They should be somehow okay. And if I understood well, it's somehow the same context in China, or not?
Yes, of course.
It's really big, and I do understand that it's center of the world from your perspective, but possibly it's not. It's not, because it's for us it's somehow possibly easier. It's my opinion, because for example, just having in mind Europe. A lot of countries, bigger countries, smaller countries, doesn't matter, but we can travel freely, and we know exactly, for example, in Poland or in other countries or in Baltic states.
It's easy to country to country.
Yes, easy to reach from another country to communicate, to cooperate, etc. This is, and you can have a good, more or less good imagination about different contexts, about different, for example, education systems, etc. And I'm trying to understand from your perspective, because it's also interesting, and possibly you feel some differences in comparison with, let's say, Polish educational system, for example, and China educational system.
I think it's like obviously it's about the years. So in here the primary is like until 9.
You mean primary?
Yes. How many years? I know high school is 4 years.
Typically in Lithuania we have also
primary 12 years.
Yes. It's approximately 11-12 year old.
Yeah. So in China the primary is 6 years, and then we have middle school is 3 years, and then high school 3 years. So here is like the outside difference.
Yeah.
The years is different, and also another, I think the subject is different.
What
also
are
similar, because I know in Polish you have the religion lesson, and also you have many holidays. You have many holidays. Yeah, it's true. In China we don't have so many holidays.
Do you think that we are lazy, or Polish people?
No. Because, and Confucius also mentioned that we should play and learn together, not only just study, like. Because in Chinese people they also always say like play and learn together. We should balance, And also another biggest problems, because I know the difference is last month you have the final exam of high school. So I know about that. My student told me like they have almost 1 month the exam, but in China we only just 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and then finish. I know you have like level 1, level 2, and level 3, but in Chinese all the same level. And I also know you have the speaking part of Polish and English, and in China we just writing and listening, and that's it. Yeah, So this is another difference.
Yeah, this is more or less. We have some differences, obviously, in comparison, for example, with Poland, with Polish education system. But for example, in Lithuania now also exam time for secondary, upper secondary level or high school. And today, for example, was exam for Lithuanian language and literature.
Yeah.
Today, exactly today, was exam and some other exams also during June month, and generally from three or five exams for students. It depends on branch for their future. For example, if you want to enter university,
Yes.
or in particular some direction, for example, natural sciences or humanities. In addition, you need to decide on some exams, for example,
Yes.
mathematics or biology or chemistry or physics, etc. This is quite difficult time. And also, for example, in Lithuania we have two levels of exams, so-called state exams and school level exam.
Yes.
Some of them are obligatory exams, some not. Depends.
Yes.
Okay, so quite interesting. Quite interesting. But okay, let's return back to your PhD studies. This is
Yes. Yeah.
interest. And what, let's say, your future plan, for example, after finishing
This
PhD?
one, yeah. After finish PhD, I planned. If I can't, I wish I can go to the university to be a teacher.
In China, or you will stay?
It doesn't matter with me. Just can go to, because I know if I want to become a teacher. But if I go to the school teach the student, only this small part of student can know, like can study well. I am not talking I can teach well, but I think I can teach well. But if I can teach the teacher to teach the students, then the teacher can teach more students. And because I want to because before I work in the kindergarten, and when I go to the kindergarten, I can notice the child is really different, and their family teaching also different. So I want to let the kids have how to say that, like the good thinking, not just the thinking from the YouTube, from the video, but it's from the teacher. I'm not sure if I explain clearly.
Oof.
Yeah.
Let's hope that
Yeah.
idea is clear. Okay, to educate teachers, to teach teachers, yes. Okay, possible you want to say some comments or some wishes to our channel viewers, some words for people who possible will see our interview.
Thank you for your watching. And what I say is only my opinions. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes, only my opinions, and I don't have any meaning to mean that. So just my opinions, and I welcome everybody to tell me the suggestions or advice. So welcome to tell me.
Yes, and possible. It's again my opinion.
Yeah.
Possible the main meaning that we should be flexible. We should be, let's say, active and interested in different things. For example, as currently we're taking part in this conference,
Yes.
we're listening different people,
I
different
agree,
presentations, and exchanging different ideas and different experience. And in any way, it's useful. At least it's my understanding.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Shuqi, for this short but really wonderful conversation.
Thank you too.
And in this way, I am inviting you, for example, if possible, to visit Lithuania at some time. It's a pity that it's possible not enough time, but next week we will have our Baltic Sea Symposium, 5th Baltic Sea International Symposium, from Monday till Thursday, and again around 50 foreigners, 50 international participants will take place in our symposium, and but we hope that some lectures, some keynote speeches will be recorded possible, and again it will be possible to find on our channel and for example, to be familiar with some
Yes, I will,
good presentations and good ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Yeah.
And you have a nice time in Poland.
Thank you so much.
Not only studying, but also
Life here.
life,
Yeah.
enjoy life.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And because it's from different context, cultural context.
Yeah. The
different
language, the biggest problem is language.
Yes, sure. But we are educators at some extent.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
learning continuously.
Yes.
Learning by doing, learning by experience, and
Yeah.
learning from others. For better world, right?
Yes. I agree with this.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you too.